with special guest Ian Friend from Ferrum Network. Ian, thank you for joining us. Today's show, we've got some interesting updates aside from possible partnership, which I'm curious to know about. And we've got this cool new updates from Fate and uplink. So Will is going to dive into that because if you've been paying attention to Telegram, Fate just restarted with some special FOMO material, maybe. We're going to find out. As always, quick disclaimer. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. I caught you, Ian. We saw you. You took that quick water break.
I had to close the door because my son was crying.
That's all right. So haven't seen you in a while.
Happy Father's Day, anyway.
Yeah, to everybody.
Sunday. Yep. Don't forget. Father's Day. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Don't forget
All
to
right.
give
Don't
your dad
forget
something.
Monday as a bank holiday too, just in case, you know.
Never. Nah. We don't need to know those.
Yeah, I always
All right.
pencil that one in. That's super important. Not.
All right. So today, Ian, thanks for joining. We've had you on in the past. Again, it's always good to have you on, as always. You've helped out Flourishing AI as an incubator project through Ferrum Network. So this goes all the way back to the origination. So again, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. It's really glad to be here, and it's great to see you guys, and just excited to hear all the updates from your team.
I can't believe he's not sick of us yet.
No?
Never.
Sure
We're trying to figure out ways where we can integrate even more. You know,
It's true.
We're a little crazy like that over at Ferrum, I guess.
Well, let's get into that. So tell us a little bit more about this. What's the premises, or what's the understanding of it? This is relatively breaking news, or is it? I mean, I don't even know what's happening right now. You guys tell me.
So to set the stage, okay, obviously we have a guest on. That means one of two things. Either there's a Fate partnership or an uplink partnership, right? You guys know the score. So along those lines, I'll leave it to Ian to announce it. Unless you want me to, Ian, that's fine. But if you want to take center stage, I'm good with it.
Sure. Well, why don't I explain what's going on from my perspective? Then you maybe can take it from your guys' standpoint. But as everybody knows,
Awesome.
We've been close with Flourishing Capital and this team for it's over a year now, year and a half probably is when we started to incubate and ultimately help launch Flourishing Capital. Obviously, the project has evolved in incredible ways. And then, so when Eric reached out to me and told me about this new product of theirs, uplink, where people can essentially go to the Ferrum website and buy Ferrum tokens directly with fiat, I was like, this is a game changer. This is groundbreaking stuff. Because if you think about how do you normally buy Ferrum, it's such a convoluted process, and that goes for all altcoins, right? So this product's a game changer. We want it for Ferrum. We wanted to do it about a month ago, but we were busy launching this new DeFi product called Crucible, which we did in fact launch. Going great. And now we have a little bit more bandwidth. So we're going to be moving forward with uplink. Super excited about it. People will be buying Ferrum. And I think Ferrum X too. Why not do both of our tokens? And the really cool part is that those tokens are coming from our Pancake Swap pool. They're not coming from our treasury. So this is gonna help the price, increase demand. It's not causing any more inflation. So it's a win-win-win. And even if retail isn't like paying that much attention right now because we're in the heart of a bear market, there's going to come a time when retail's back and they're gonna want a tool like this. And so we're going to have it soon. And I'm just super pumped.
Nice to be prepared for the swing.
Yeah, and especially when we have near instant delivery too, right? With traditional methods of getting any sort of token, like let's say you've gone all the way out of crypto into cash during the bear market, right? Now you have to wire or ACH or buy with a credit card. Then you have to wait for it to clear. Then you got to move it off the exchange. And all this takes time and it costs slippage every single step. And you know what I'm talking about. Right?
Pain in the butt. Yeah, it's actually a bit. I mean, I view that problem as one of the biggest impediments to mass adoption that there is.
Mhm.
Because when you talk to a normal person, like they want to buy Ferrum or they want to buy Flourishing AI tokens or anything. It's like you got to explain. All right, first sign up for Coinbase.
Yeah.
Then deposit your funds over there.
They're gone after the first step. That's it.
Then you need to convert. Those are only Ethereum based stable coins over there. I think for the most. I don't think they have. So then you got to figure out how do you get on Binance Smart Chain. So you've lost like everybody at that point, except the diehard crypto people.
Nuts.
We need to think bigger than that.
Yeah, we want to make an industry and a crypto economy, crypto universe that is not gatekeeping, right? Yeah. Otherwise, how can you have mass adoption?
You're not. Yeah, that's the number one issue. Just the educational side alone and understanding as to what you're actually getting, but just those initial steps. How do you get it? I mean, that's literally one of the hardest questions to actually answer.
Well, you guys are all crypto pros, and everybody listening to this for the most part is, right? So you understand cross-chain swaps, you understand, different chains and so on, right? But here's the thing: at some point, somebody is going to ask you, "How do I get into this crypto thing, and what do I buy?" So as far as the second question, what do you buy? You probably shouldn't give them any advice, right? Unless you want to lose a friend or sour a relative on you, right? So this market is super volatile, so don't do that. But as far as the first question, like how can you get in? Go to this site, enter in a credit card, enter in your email, and you're good to go. Like that's just an obvious, as opposed to go find a Bitcoin ATM, which is convenient in other ways, right? But it's not going to get you instantly in if you have to go get in your car and drive off or find one or whatever the case may be.
Well, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be able to buy Ferrum tokens in a Bitcoin
and you can't buy Ferrum tokens
either.
That's the problem. I was leading up to that, right? Even if you could get through all of that, right? How do you buy Ferrum tokens without going through cross-chain swaps and DEXs and all? It's just a mess, right? This does it all for you. And it even configures your MetaMask. So you don't have to switch over to Binance Smart Chain or BNB Chain or whatever they're calling it this week.
I love it. I can't wait for it. It's actually extremely relevant for us, not just on sort of a theoretical level, but people come to me all the time. Maybe not so much right now because the market conditions, but like beginning and like middle end of the last bear market, a lot of my non-crypto friends would come to me like, "Hey, I know you found this crypto project. I heard it did well for people. Like, how do I buy it?" And honestly, every time I would just do an OTC deal. I would just be like, it's just, because they'd only, these guys only
send me cash,
$400, whatever, $500 worth, but whatever. So, send me $500, Venmo or whatever, and I'll send you Ferrum. Which, okay, that works if it's like my handful of friends. But what about the not, people who don't know me as well? In fact, this happened just the other day. One of our community members, shout out to Brenda. She's awesome. She's a little older, not like super deep in the space, right? And I think only had a Coinbase account. And so she reached out and was like, "I want to, get involved in these pre-sales. We've still, Ferrum's still active, even despite the bear market. We're still active with offering select pre-sales. There's still different opportunities with our DeFi products. We just launched Crucible, which provides a sustainable passive APRs through trading volumes. And so she wanted to get involved with both of those things, but didn't know how to get BSC-based Ferrum. So she reached out to me and was like, "I have Ethereum." Like, "All right, just send me the Ethereum."
What do I do?
Like, I was like, I wasn't going to try to explain to her, how do you get that Ethereum over to the Binance Smart Chain and then to buy Ferrum with that? It's too much. It's too much. So upLink is going to solve that problem. And I think there's a lot of Brendas out there. There's a lot more Brendas out there than we might realize.
I think there's a lot more for sure.
There's Brendas out there with like, I want to add, this token to my portfolio and I have $3 million. Like there's people like that out there, right? That's a completely different world. A lot of people in crypto right now, I'll be honest, that there's small time retail investors, right? And people that are like way on the other side of this spectrum, they'll never figure it out. I'll be honest. Like if you told them like, oh, you got to sign up and do all these steps, forget it.
Well, we're also talking
You know what's
about
funny? I talked to a Brenda yesterday, okay? And in this case, this person's name is John, not Brenda. And the context was, I found this like cool crypto game and I need to buy crypto. How do I do that? Here's the plot twist. Ready, guys? This guy's a banker. Like, when like bankers like want in, right? And they're sitting there going, how do I get in, right? You're onto something, right? So anyway, hope you got the doorbell.
definitely a text line.
Sorry.
I don't know whose doorbell that was.
But to connect on that, we are talking about just tokens or the currency side, but there is the whole gaming component, the NFTs.
Yeah, totally.
There's other blockchain related objects or digital items that people are going to want to purchase. So it doesn't just end here.
That's going to blow up.
Talking about.
Speaking of that, go ahead. Yeah.
I want to hear what you're going to say anyway with like the whole metaverse stuff and fate. That's what I'm waiting for. But I also do want to ask one big thing. I just want to get it out there because I've received some DMs about this. So however you want to explain it, if you want to say not now, later, we could do that. But Farum, Ian, incubator project, huge metaverse projects. It's the Iron Alliance. This could be something far larger than what you guys are putting out here. That's all I also want to say. So is this more than just a possible collaboration with Farum, or is this also kind of expand within the whole Farum ecosystem?
Well,
or we're just saying this is just for now. Let's just keep them for a bit.
There's one of the big reasons why I'm on this your show right now is to explain the benefits to our community. And that's not just going to stop with this video, right? Like if this is a good product and it's adding value, we want all our projects to use it. So we do have that group, the Iron Alliance, which is a conglomeration of founders that worked with Farum in the past. There's like 80 projects in there or more. Some folks are more active than others, obviously, but there, we'll be promoting this uplink product to them, to our community, others who may even not be in the Iron Alliance we're connected to, because I think it adds a ton of value. And look, we're as a Farum incubated project, one of the things we pride ourselves on is continuing to provide support wherever possible, even well after the launch. And this is one example of that, right? Like. We didn't necessarily have to do any of this. It's in our interest to do it. But I also honestly, one thing I said to the team, because one of the team members like, oh, should we do this? Like, worry about chargebacks, this and that. Those issues got resolved, by the way. But one of the things I said was like, look, this is an incubated project. We got to do what we can to help them. Even if this product isn't going to get $1 million in volume every day in the beginning, which I'm sure it won't, at least not in the beginning. But even if it's getting even it's helping our users a little bit, and it's helping incubated project, sign me up every time. And awesome. if it's as good as I think it's not up on our website yet, by the way, but it will be shortly. Assuming it's as working as smoothly as I believe it will, no issues, no hesitation, recommending that to all the projects that we work with.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Okay, want to get that out there.
Nice. Yeah, that's what's really exciting about this. It's not just Farum. It's just not just FRM and FRMX, right? It's potentially a wider universe. So we're starting to branch out into, really sort of leveraging some of these partnerships like Ian. So thanks, Ian. Right. So.
And one thing definitely,
my pleasure, guys. Always looking to help you guys out, like any of our projects. You're doing great things. I mean, some of our projects, unfortunately, went silent. Like they just sort of gave up in the bear market, which I can't stand that. That's the worst. So we're obviously not supporting those folks anymore. And I feel terribly for ever even having worked with them. But guys like you, you're the opposite. You guys kept pushing. You were like, all right, what else can we do to solve problems in this space? And then you built uplink, which does that. So I'm going to support that all day long.
When market conditions change, you often have to be very flexible and creative and adapt to them, honestly. And companies that can't do that and they're over leveraged in what they're doing and their investments and stuff, they just die. This happens every bear market, right? And it's not even just crypto. All sorts of companies die out. Traditional mom and pop brick and mortar stores die. Traditional stocks die that are in the equities market that get delisted. Like all sorts of crazy stuff happens. I mean, raise your hand if you were around in the 2008 crash. I was.
Yeah.
I saw that happen left and right. Are you kidding me?
It's a mess.
Yeah.
But you know what the big difference is? A lot of folks actually have sort of outsourced development. They bring a product to market and all that sort of stuff, right? They can't move fast enough when conditions change. Some can, some can't, right? So really, I wanted to sort of, hat tip to our great engineering team, right? Because we were able to put up uplink really fast, right? And as a result, we were able to provide this additional service and really sort of benefit from everybody just kind of looking at crypto right now and going, gosh, there's some really good deals right now. Maybe it's time to buy, and this is an easy way to do it. So well done.
Thanks.
Yeah, well, it's funny you guys bring this up. It's obviously a very salient topic in the bear market, but we've had discussions. In fact, I had a discussion with Eric, and we've had discussions with many of our incubated projects just about the topic of readiness for this bear market. And I'm very pleased to report that Eric and Will were way out in front of it. They were like, yeah, we already cut costs. Yeah, we're already focused on the thing that's bringing us the revenue, and that's what we're primarily focused on, which is uplink, at this very moment in time. Not to say that you're abandoning other stuff, but that's, you're focused on the stuff that's making you money. That's what you need to do. Smart business decision. And, in making sure the runway is going to last for as long as possible. We'll eventually get out of the bear market for sure. Right. And the name of the game is, largely survival. If you can thrive, even better. But, really it's just about, let's get through this. Let's keep the, community engaged, try to bring as much revenue as possible, keep that core team together, and then you're going to be fine. And that goes for all projects, I would say.
Yep. And here's the thing. A lot of folks are actually quiet and building, and that's kind of the right attitude. We are a little noisier just because we sense an opportunity right now to really promote uplink as an easy way to buy crypto, which right now is really at rock bottom prices. Like, is this the bottom? Tough to say for sure, right? I'm sure Will's got some opinions on that. Yeah. But regardless of whether we are at the bottom, we are probably closer to the bottom than not. I mean, I think that's kind of an obvious thing to say. So now is a good time to actually, sort of talk about uplink and really promote that. So, and for those of you in the community who have done that, who have actually introduced us to projects, thank you guys. We really appreciate that.
I would say on two quick notes, it's interesting to see also the professionalism behind the Flourishing AI team. We see like some of the posts and everything that you guys do and talking about generating revenue, but it's interesting to see also the timing behind that. And I'm just being transparent on that. Go look at in the Telegram group on Twitter, our live shows, and you'll see from 2 weeks ago, we talked about everything that's kind of like about to happen. And then now you see like Tesla, Amazon, all these big companies saying, oh, there's layoffs here, there's this and that, all this other crazy stuff. Like you guys were like, you could obviously see it happening, but it's funny how it takes like the news or other people weeks to then start doing the same thing or something similar. But the other note is uplink itself, even though we are in a bear market or a down market, the amount of transactions have been increasing. The amount of volume has been generating has been increasing, which I also find pretty damn interesting. So perhaps there are people thinking that, again, this could be the bottom. This is another weird indicator that you may not necessarily think of, because with exchanges or centralized exchanges, you don't really see what's happening behind the scenes. But with uplink,
that's true. That's not usually a reportable metric from exchanges that you can data mine, right? It's like how many people are buying on exchanges, right?
Yep. So uplink, your overall volume has been increasing day by day.
Yeah, to the point to where we've been consistently running out of liquidity. Like it's been a whole other problem that we have to address now as to how to refill it fast enough to meet the current level of demand. And it spurred like lots of conversations, us making lots of phone calls and getting very creative about it. So it's in process. People I know people in the community that are watching the liquidity, the LP wallet.
Yep.
And you can
Yeah, they're
see
like
how much
hawks,
we're clearing a day in there.
They're on it.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
To be candid, we're always transparent with you guys. To be candid, the uptick in business really caught us a little bit by surprise. We expected an uptick. We didn't expect it this fast, right? Okay, so what do you do now? Well, there's a couple of things that we've done to secure additional sources of crypto inventory, if you will. Not going to get into too much of the details because this would be a 3-hour long show if I did, for starters. But suffice it to say that we believe that over the next couple of days, that will be a thing of the past, regardless of how much volume you guys bring.
Yeah, so there's 2 problems to solve, like from our side, right? The first side is the amount of capital to fund the amount of demand that we have that can churn through, right? And the second one is how to get that capital deployed into crypto in a very efficient way that's cost efficient without all these different fees involved. And that's another entirely separate problem, right? So there's 2 big problems that we have that we're solving in parallel.
Yep.
Okay.
So we believe we cracked both, right?
Yeah.
So that's the key.
Okay. I
honestly,
I love the fact that I guess you could also put it towards like the blockchain technology aspect and liquidity, but like, yeah, you have members of the community just on that like all day. They have alerts set. They're literally watching liquidity and being like, oh, what just happened here? Oh, there's a lot of big buys today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like you don't see that. Where else do you see that in traditional businesses? You don't.
It's pretty fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
Well, the other thing we're very concerned about too. Oh, go ahead.
So wait, is that a feature of uplink? Like you could like alert, like it's like a bot alert that somebody did a big buy or something like that, or what is, or they're just monitoring it manually themselves?
Well, they're monitoring it themselves, but I mean, there's different tools that you can use to get like alerts whenever there's like the transaction of a specific wallet. But I would like to see something on uplink where it says like recent transactions and, you know, putting that kind of stuff on like the site in a way. Kind of cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and one of the
Good
features
idea.
we have planned is an alert system too. So, for example, it can alert you when, you know, let's say you want to buy BNB or Ferrum. It can alert you, hey, Ferrum's at this price that you've set a target for. Like, here's a link to go buy it. Right? Things like that are what we're thinking about with an alert system.
Well, let me give you something to think
users
about.
Will really like that. Users will
Yeah.
like that.
The interesting thing about that, if you think about it, as providing both uplink and flourishing AI, right? So right now we're kind of a small fry, all things considered, on the uplink side, right? So volume goes up and up and up and up, and at some point it starts to become a significant data point. So guess what? If we see a wave of incoming buys, that becomes an alert for flourishing AI. Synergy, right? Awesome. So we're just itching to get to the point where we have that much volume to where it's really useful data feeding into the AI system as well.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of history to that data either right now, right? So the other important thing is longevity and history, so you can kind of see what these cycles look like.
Exactly.
Okay.
Starts to get interesting.
On that note, we're talking a little bit about Fate. For those that have interacted with Fate, so this is the artificial intelligence aspect of Flourishing AI. This is not a bot, making that as clear as I can. And for those that are just learning about this, go do your research on it. That is a whole nother video. In fact, we've had many videos about that in the past, so watch those. But she's in Telegram. That's how you interact with her. And she just restarted. So there's a big update behind this. So Will, can you give us a rundown as to 2 parts? So 2 parts. And then if you have more, add on to that. But for Ian as well, for the 2 parts, 1, access to a VIP or premium type group, just as the first example or first case study of this new upgrade. And then 2, being able to sell items, to sell or purchase items.
Yeah.
And via uplink, by the way.
This is a huge update for Fate when you push live. And we may have a few kinks we're going to work out over the next few days. So bear with us a little bit. We did test it out on our QA environment for a while before this. But, you know, I see a little bit polished items still. This is huge. This ties Fate, AI, the token, and uplink all together. The idea was that uplink, okay, so base level of uplink is we need somebody wants to buy Ethereum. We're going to make that fast, cheap, and easy, right? The second level beyond that, what do you do beyond that? The second level is e-commerce, right? Let's say a company wants to offer some product for sale, but they want to do this in a way that ties it into their token, into crypto. We have built this layer. It's now part of uplink. It's uplink e-commerce. And I'm happy to say that Fate is the first customer and use case of the e-commerce version of uplink. And we have just brought that live today. It's a huge deal. So let me tell you about how it works.
But yeah, I want to test it out. I literally just restarted before the show. So
as you know, we do a lot of data mining, a lot of analysis of markets, right? And previously to now, this was all freely available to everybody, all of the deep analysis that we do. And we have a market reach of somewhere around about 250,000 people right now. What we've done is now to access that deep analysis, as well as things like market talk, which people really enjoy, being able to get private sessions with me to talk about trading and markets and things like that, you will have to go to uplink and burn AI. So uplink is a tool to buy, not only buy AI, but it will buy and burn it automatically, and then tell Fate that happened and Fate will give you access to all of this premium features. This is the first e-commerce use case of uplink. And I'm really curious to see everybody's feedback, and I will welcome it with everybody. But I'm really excited about it.
So think of like a Patreon private Discord group. I mean, we've seen private Telegram groups. We've seen various bots that check your wallet balance, right? And if you have a certain amount, you could go in. If you go below that, you get kicked out. But this is connected through uplink, which in itself is awesome, right? So the fiat to crypto aspect, but then brings a whole utility and use case behind AI as well. But as Will and Eric have talked about, we've been having market talk segments, which is extremely valuable information that we have also been giving out for free. But I could see this growing just in itself. You're going to have to buy AI tokens and then burn them to get access to that specific type of content. This is just the start. This is just the first example. Just do it.
And this is great for the token too, because it adds real utility to the token. It adds new buyers, a very large segment of new buyers to the token. And this is how you have real organic demand, right? For us to just simply, as a company, buy and burn AI ourselves, that's really artificial demand. If there's not a huge number of users organically buying that themselves, it's not going to ultimately support the price action, right? So this is actually a very huge deal for the AI token as well.
So what I like about it, and correct me if I'm wrong about this though, just real quick. So for the first use case, we're saying for this private group, it's going to be like one AI like a day, right? Because I'm just connecting
this $1 worth of AI per day. So when you go to uplink, you go to buy AI and you'll put in a dollar number. It'll figure out how much AI that is automatically for you. You don't have to think about it.
So I'm just putting it out there in terms of like a subscription model. You're basically you're paying ahead of it in a way, right?
Yeah.
So it's not.
So what if you do more?
Buying ahead of time, which is cool.
So Will, what if I do like say $30 or so? What does that get me?
That's 30 days, 30 days, right? And
exactly.
You can keep going back. So you can do $30 and then $20, and then it'll just add it to the end of it. So it'll extend that term dynamically. Just keep pushing it out, right?
Interesting.
This is, in my opinion, how subscriptions should ultimately work. You see in practice, many companies that have subscription models, they'll force you into 1 month at a time, or maybe they'll give you a 6-month discount if you pay up front, like things like that. I like this way better, honestly.
One of the things that Will and I have been racking our brains on for what a good year and a half is how do we bring subscriptions and services that are time bound to crypto purchases? And again, not to make this a horribly pedantic, horribly long discussion, there are lots of real challenges to just simply making some like a Netflix of crypto, if you will, right? We think we finally have started to crack it, and that's what this is really. That's what has us really excited about this. Sure, we're excited about giving you guys access via purchases of the AI token. That's awesome, but we also now provide that through uplink as well. So for other projects, other communities that want to put their token on AI, not only are you now promulgating sales, but now you are providing for almost like a quasi subscription model where you just keep topping up and topping up and topping up. It's like V-Bucks in Fortnite or, some other service online that you buy, with any kind of virtual tokens today. Now we're extending that to crypto. The implications of this are enormous because now, for example, all of your influencers can now sell their own token and provide sort of insider, talk or insider access to them for a limited period of time. Nobody's doing that yet in the way that we're doing it, not through crypto tokens. You go through like PayPal or whatever, that's fine, but that's old school. So this is definitely next level stuff.
Yeah.
I want it for Ferrum token. I want this for the Ferrum token. I like because so
good thing you're signing up.
No, because theoretically this could. I mean, just hear me out here. So just as Will, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend I understand the markets as well as Will, but one thing that we do have a lot of experience in is advising and investing in early stage companies, pre-listed companies, right? That's a value add that people may be interested on the Ferrum side. So you could theoretically set this up, maybe, I don't know, but set this up, similar system up for a Ferrum token. Pay Ferrum token, equivalent amounts burn, access to a private group with exclusive information.
Yeah. Or you can even, through this e-commerce layer, say, well, if you buy Ferrum tokens and send it to this particular wallet, maybe that wallet's you guys or somebody that you work with or an affiliate or whatever, right? Then they get this service, right? It can be whatever you want. We just chose for uplink that the wallet it sends it to is our burn wallet. That's really the only thing. Right? So,
and the thing that they're buying is your time and knowledge, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Access.
You need to have
They're
something
buying
that
access.
people want to buy.
Well, we have real expenses too, right? Like we have a whole bunch of servers on Amazon AWS that are crunching data 24/7. As you know, we've talked about that many times with Fate. That costs real money to run that, right? Like significant amounts of money in server infrastructure. So it's more than just, hey, I'm going to just tell you what I think, So yeah.
No. We know that it's a lot more than just your opinion when it comes to Flourishing AI. I'm just saying that you have something of value that people want. That's the key, right? So
that's the thing. And we made a big realization a while back, which is that most of the value of Fate is actually the information. If you compare the segment of users that actually use Fate for active trading, for automatic trading, versus the segment of users that just use it for information, you're talking about like 3 orders of magnitude in difference. Like it's huge difference.
Yeah. So Ian, one thing of interest, because from a marketing standpoint, just get this, we'll go into this state of mind. Influencers, love them, hate them. You need them in the crypto space, right? So a lot of times though, it is kind of difficult to measure the overall performance of an influencer. It is. And I'm also saying that upon myself, right? We can make a video, we can make a tweet. Knowing the actual engagement or conversions from that is kind of difficult to track. You can check links, all that kind of stuff. But what if we said, okay, Farron, we're going to work with John, who's an influencer, right? John, why don't we also connect you with uplink? Because we all know that when you tell your followers and all your fans about Ferrum, you're going to be telling them to go to all these other exchanges, all these other places and whatnot. Why don't I hook you up with uplink? So you can now also generate revenue for yourself, by the way. But then you could also add FRM an FRMX to your website or to your platform or whatever, or your landing page, whatever it is. And then from there, you could say, okay, let's see how much you actually generate for us. Let's see how we are on that type of level. Think about that.
Could you set it? Could you set it up? That's a great idea, by the way. Could you set it up so that like that's like almost? I'm thinking like an affiliate program, right, where they would earn some.
So the affiliate program, though, affiliate program, like all the other exchanges have affiliate programs, but the difference though is that you're not knowing again that influencer is tracking their own performance on their affiliate program.
Yeah, no, much better. It's much better than a traditional one. But I'm saying from the influencer standpoint, they're being incentivized because they would earn a percentage of income generated by that particular uplink widget that's buying Ferrum, for example.
Yep,
you got it.
Yeah, I mean,
is that already in place? I'm confused. Is this happening in the future, or we already have that?
It's coming. Yeah,
we have this
Coming
reporting
soon.
feature to track affiliates, and we support affiliate links. So that part is there.
Okay.
How that type of payment process would work, I think we should sort out because I don't really know yet.
Right.
But I could see that it's solvable, right?
and I'm just thinking from an influencer point of view, and I'll say this over and over and over again. You have your own community. You have your own followers. You're doing the right thing by them by saying, okay, you have to get Ethereum. You have to get BSC. You have to get that foundational coin, right? Why would you send them anywhere else? Why wouldn't you tell them to go to your own website, your own landing page? Why wouldn't
Why
you?
not keep them in your environment? It's a no-brainer.
It is. But what I then also want to see is the ability then, and this is what we talked about behind the scenes, but for us, so as an influencer role, to enable or disable certain options. So you can have one influencer that's just saying, okay, I'm only going to promote Ethereum or FRM. It's pretty strong, right? Having the ability to customize what you can or can't offer or what you want to offer. Different levels.
Yeah.
Well, token of the week, right? If you're going to cover a certain token every week, maybe you want to, sort of provide something on a limited time basis, right? So for this week only, next week, we'll look at something else, right? So it opens up a whole bunch of business models that are kind of interesting.
It's just to say, this reminds me of a conversation I had with Eric last week when we were talking about integrating uplink to the Ferrum site so people can go and buy, Ferrum through this widget directly coming out of our PancakeSwap liquidity pool. The question that I had then was, well, Ferrum incubates a lot of different projects. What if we had within the drop down, it wasn't just FRM token, but it was FRM,
everything,
Flourishing AI, and all the good ones, only the good ones.
Yep.
But that's basically what you're talking about, Jason. But we're not influencer per se; we're a project, but it's the same general value proposition.
Well,
yeah, we can totally do that. That's
right now, so, Ian, right now, as an incubator, so you as the owner of an incubator platform or a launchpad, right? You, just as you said, you want to help those projects grow. You want to reach out into your network. You want to help them grow. You want them on multiple exchanges. But when you think about it, it's like one's going to go here, one's going to go there. So it's still being dispersed. So with what you just said on having an actual Ferrum network uplink widget, it's basically saying don't get distracted by going to all these other exchanges to then see all these other options that you may or may not have. Here's just FRM incubated projects. Boom, done. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't go
it's
here,
such a game
there.
changer.
Everything is one shot. What do you want?
Yeah. I'm liking this idea. We got to think through the feasibility of it, and you got to get. I would have to get consent of the other teams, I would imagine, so on and so forth. But this is, I think this is something that projects would want. It's a value for them. It's a value for us. It's a value for you guys, and it's a value for the users too, I would say. So this is a win across the board.
That's one thing that I do keep seeing from some community members saying, it's a fiat gateway or it's an on-ramper. Which it is, but you guys got to open up your imagination and really think about the stuff that we just talked about. When people want to go and get a token of a project, you don't want them to start seeing all this other different options and all this other fluff, all this other stuff within this echo chamber focused on particular projects. So Ferrum is a perfect use case by that, by saying, here's all the incubated projects. Boom. Here's all just metaverse projects. Here's just NFT projects. That's very different than what is currently out there that is trying to bring everybody in, right? Where you want to be niche specific. You want to be able to get right to the point. That in itself is of huge value of importance. Get rid of the nonsense and the noise. Focus.
I don't know if anybody here has used like things like MoonPay and stuff like that before. It's like 5 million different options. Like, oh, and you're like completely lost. There's just so many different. What do you do, right?
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
That plus the speed of delivery, I think, is really what sets uplink apart, in my opinion.
Yeah. Plus, it's cheaper, honestly. Like if you actually go through the whole flow of any one of these other funnels, not only you're not going to get the token that you actually want, you're going to have to get one of these kind of top 10, have to then convert it again. But on top of that, it's more expensive than what we're doing, right? We're giving you the token that you actually want for a cheaper price than these other ones are doing for generic tokens even. So think about that.
I'll add one other little quick thing, just so we could blow Ian's mind for a bit and for some of the Ferrum community members as well. Ian, think about these metaverse projects that are out there, right? You got the metaverse projects. A lot of them require you to have their token to like enter it, right? Or to like participate, to get engaged. And then obviously they have NFTs that are in there. But let's just say you're in that metaverse. You got your VR goggles on, you're in there, you're walking around, and you're like, I would like to buy this land. Or I see there's like a land for sale. I don't know, however it is. And all of a sudden you're like, okay, you take your goggles off, you leave that platform, you go to whatever platform is selling those NFTs, those lands, whatever it is. Something else happens, whatever, life, you're out. You left. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, right? Now, think of something like uplink implemented within each metaverse platform. So now you're going in there, you have your VR goggles on, you're in there, you're playing around. I want to buy something. You could see an uplink widget in there. Without leaving that metaverse platform or that project, you could just buy that token in there, in that game. Buy that NFT right then and there with your credit card. Not going to an exchange, not doing a swap, not doing anything else. Just you're in that game, in that moment. Get it. That's another aspect that's pretty damn important. So it's not just
already in the works too.
Think about that. Oh, that alone is what gets me the most excited.
That's cool. Somebody should make that.
Should.
That's awesome.
Should.
Well, right, I can't wait to get this up on the Ferrum site. Get my hands on it. I'll I got some USD lying around. I'll buy some Ferrum, and then I can't wait to start referring this out to other projects, and then even to talk more about how do we get a sort of Ferrum incubated projects within our drop down on our site. I think that's a great idea.
You know what could actually be kind of cool? Yeah, my brain is just going off, but obviously again with uplink you could choose like one project at a time. What if Ferrum had like a bundle incubator deal or something?
Yeah,
right?
I mean we
get like 10 of these projects or something. I don't know, just putting it out there.
Yeah, I gotta talk to Eric. I gotta talk to Eric offline about referrals and this and that, because this is a side of the product I hadn't really thought. I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but just want to dive in it further because look, every project should want this. Let's put it that way. Every project should want this tool, because I'm just telling you, the amount of people out there who don't want to go through a convoluted process or don't know how to go through a convoluted process on buying an altcoin. That's a huge market. It's a huge market, and you'd be a fool to shut yourself off to that, especially for, it's the cost is not very much.
Very true.
So, it's amazing that people are leaving that much money on the table, but they are. And we're going to change that.
Yeah, it is to be fair, like, and I gotta jump off soon, guys. I don't know how much longer this lasts, but we sell a lot of different products and services. When the bear market hits, and when you're in this, like, we're in like the capitulation stage, we're in like the depths of despair.
This is my
most
favorite moment.
teams aren't really
I love
looking
this moment.
to spend money.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think I'm not surprised to hear that you guys might be struggling a little bit to sell, but I'm telling you, once we get a little bit of an uptick and we're back into at least the consolidation phase of the
Massive.
market, teams are going to open up their wallets again, and they'll see the value prop and be like, all right, this is, I'll spend money on this because it makes me money, helps my community, marketing, partnership. You get with you guys. I mean, it's a win across the board. So I think this is the kind of product that's going to take off when even just we have a slight uptick in the market conditions.
I agree.
Yeah, and we want to make sure we build
so.
it out ahead of that to make sure we have the capital ahead of time in order to front all those transactions that we know are going to come in. Right, so that's going to be
Get ready before you onboard too many more projects. You got to be ready for that with the liquidity and stuff. That's key. But no, you guys will be fine. I mean, this is a product that projects are going to want to have.
Yeah. All right, let's finish it off. We do have one other interesting add-on or addition to uplink, and that is the enabled USDC.
That's right. So I announced in our community that we have an announcement coming today that involves Celsius because they've been in the news. I have to admit, I was having a little fun with you guys and trolling you guys a little bit. There isn't an official Celsius partnership or anything like that. It's simply that you can now buy stable coins on uplink. So go check it out at uplinkdefi.com. So just another option for you guys, a very heavily requested option. So here it is, right? So you can go ahead on ramp crypto, but not, sort of assume any risk with BNB or with any of the other tokens for the time being, kind of buying low, and you're ready to pounce when the markets get better to go ahead and start converting in and ride it up, Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right. For those that have been paying attention, so Fate just restarted, big update, head into the Flourishing AI Telegram group. This is all literally just happened before we went live. So go check that out. We're going to have more information about the premium group, right? So get that out. I want to test it out, play around with it. Ian, Eric, Will get together, start talking. Big stuff in the works right now. This is all happening right now. Make it happen.
I want to see the Ferrum ETF where it's basically like you buy and it gives you 10% of each one of the Ferrum project tokens into your wallet.
Love it.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
That'd be killer.
Bulk deals.
Yeah.
We need some of these projects to perform a little bit better. But hey, look, it's bear market. This is a great, not financial advice, but I mean, if your strategy is buy low, sell high, then there's worse times to invest than now. But I like the idea for sure.
All right, guys, let's end on that note. Ian, thanks again for joining us. I appreciate it. Obviously, appreciate your time, everything that you guys have been doing, not just for Ferrum Network holders, for Flourishing AI, and also the whole crypto space in general. I mean, I know you guys you're like us 24/7. We don't stop, even during these down bear markets. I think this is actually where we get more excited. It's like the opposite. I don't know what it is. Thanks for joining us.
Crazy. Maybe that's why. But thanks so much, guys. This was awesome.
Just shorting the market, and that's why he's excited.
There you go.
No, I don't do that. I'm a long-term hodler. Look, we're gonna go through these ups and downs. We're in a down period. The next up is going to be even bigger. We always smash all-time highs at some point. Just a matter of time. So be patient. We're all going to make it.
Right.
Yeah. On that note,
long term,
we're all going to make it. Stay positive. Thanks, guys. We'll see you all again. Join the Telegram group.
Thanks, you guys.
Need updates.
Thanks, folks. Bye.
Bye.
Talk soon.